Then we have handbags, and this is an example of a very deco style bag. The shape is certainly deco, and the frames are very ornate, and it also illustrates a vanity case of that period. And of course, the underarm bag was very, very popular, and often they had a strap in the back of the bag that you could carry your bag with. And it was considered a very smart thing. It came in fashion during the latter part of the 20s, a handbag without a handle. It was really a very innovative thing. And this is a suede bag that is very ornately trimmed with semi-precious stones and a marcasite. And this bag could be used in the daytime as well as in the evening time. And these three bags illustrate beaded bags that the two bags on the right are really little tiny seed beads, and the one on the far right is just woven into this background of all seed beads. It's really amazing, and the frames really complement the handbag in itself. And the one on the left is a deco design in bugle beads. And all the jewelry that I accessorize this with is from the period. And some of it was loaned to me, and it's not in my collection. But I've had people that, when they see the pictures, they loan me this stuff because they think that it's really going to be longevity for a chance for these to be seen by a lot of people. And that's the whole reason for this book, really. Mesh purses were very popular in those days, and I only have these two in the book because you can buy books showing mesh purses, and they're very hard to light. And the one on the left is called a piggyback. They're both Whiting and Davis bags. And the one on the left is about 1921, 23. And the one on the right, I've really not been able to find out what date it would be, but I kind of think it was probably the early 20s. Hopefully something will turn up which will allow me to put a date on that. I did the inside of a vanity. This is a vanity case, and it shows you the inside of the lipstick and the compartment for powder, and also for the rouge and the little powder puffs and the rouge puff that goes along with it. This is all one shot, by the way. The one on the right, the reflection's not stripped in; it's done with film, and so this took a little bit of time too. I have now a whole section on costume jewelry, which has never really been covered by anybody. You know, it's all of the fine jewelry is covered, and I wanted the viewer to see the jewelry on the neck rather than thrown on a surface. And so I found this other mannequin head by the name of Dorothy, and she was already made up in fiberglass. And I did the makeup very light so it wouldn't detract from the jewelry. And so the whole book is sort of like this, but there's some very special pieces that I have. This is from a jewelry manufacturer in Germany by the name of Fauner, and very highly collectible today. And it's sterling silver with semi-precious stones set in, and a big smoky quartz to accent these pieces. This happens to be an earring that's a cloisonné. That means it's been, and it's also hinged so that the body of this carp moves. And set in the cloisonné, it's gold, are butterfly wings. This is crystal jewelry, and it's a good example of 1920s crystal. It's probably come from Czechoslovakia, which made the best crystal. And very popular in the 1920s. And these scarves I found at a flea market. They were marked 50 cents a piece. They were in a big box, They were untrimmed, and I thought, what a wonderful chance. I think they're factory discards. But in my eye, they weren't, and it was a good chance to record this. And this is really a deco pattern that really says 1920s on it. This is a wonderful sort of fringed shawl that's been made into sort of a poncho, and it's coordinated with pajamas. And one day, I had this in mind to do this with some kind of prop, and I didn't know what yet. And one day I saw a lady at the nursery walking around some of the plants there, and she had on her shoulder a cockadoo. And I thought, this is it. This is what I'm going to photograph with this. So I went up to her and I said, you know, I'm doing this project, and I wonder if you'd let me photograph your bird. She says, I beg your pardon? And she says, this is a cockatoo. And I said, well, would you be willing to come to my studio? Because I want to photograph this. This is a wonderful fashion. So she came to my studio, and she did pretty much the same thing. She fed it grapes. And so I got an idea for this, for the pose and everything, and I very carefully selected the right mannequin to do the right thing that would show off this scarf.